Hello everybody, this is Mateo, and if you had watched the very end of the finale of Mega Man, and by that I mean through the entire 6 minutes of rambling, you would have seen this coming! And so for those of you who saw this coming, I applaud you. You saw it coming 2 hours in advance. Yes, we are indeed Let's Playing Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga next. This is just one of my favorite games of all time, and definitely my favorite Game Boy Advance game. Also, yay for Weird Flash, stupid ROM. To this day, I still own the little... would you call it a cartridge? I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh, and by the way, Princess Peach is getting kidnapped by this vampire girl, I guess. Okay, then. Yeah, it is just one of my favorite games. This is another one of the games that I played before I even knew what an RPG was. The other being Pokemon games. I've played through this game at least 6 times now, 7 if you include the Let's Play, which I am now doing, by the way. And then they fly into a giant portrait cloud thing of the vampire lady, and we have an emergency situation! No, I did not. What are those things to the very left? Are those socks? Kinda looks like a bra. Either way, at the moment we are currently controlling Toad. You can walk around the house a bit. There isn't a whole lot. There's that light switch there, but it doesn't turn off like it does in Super Mario RPG. However, we do hear humming coming out of the bathroom. Because we're in the bathroom. Had to do it, but... and... the only sensible solution would be to jump on him. What was I even talking about? Something about this game. Yeah, I can beat it in 9 hours now. I know that the speedrun is 3 hours. However, I fight every single battle except for the battles in the overworld. And just, yeah. So I can beat this game pretty quickly. So this shouldn't be all too long of a Let's Play. And also, yay, hilarity has already ensued. And just the dialogue is funny, the battles are fun, and it's not just press A to attack, you attack, and then your opponent attacks. Although it is sort of like that, you also have timed hits, which I believe that Toad was actually Toad is going to explain here. However, I don't need to explain, because I've played through this game 5 times. So basically, when jumping, when jumping, if you press the A button right as you land on the enemy, or B if you're playing as Luigi, but we won't get into that yet, you will do extra damage. So normally at level 1 you would do 1 damage, however if you get the timing right you will do 2. So basically you're killing Bowser twice as fast here. And also, every single enemy and every single enemy's attack is able to be dodged as long as you're good at the timing. For instance, with Bowser's Flame, if you jumped at the right time by pressing A, you would jump over the flame and it would miss you. And there are other types of dodges that we'll get into later as we get more power-ups. Well, power-ups, quote and end quote. They're not exactly power-ups, but still. And then we have plot stuff. Plot in a Mario game? Oh my god. Yeah, she has a rather explosive vocabulary, and when I was way younger, me and my brother would just be that explosive vocabulary is her cursing. She's cursing a lot and making stuff explode by doing so. And basically our reasoning behind that was because it was just a whole bunch of pictures, so we said that those were sensors. So Peach would basically be cursing up a storm and it would make the castle explode and whatnot. Speaking of cursing up a storm and making the castle explode, that kind of just happened. So yeah, now we have to go rescue Princess Peach's voice. For whatever reason they didn't kidnap the actual princess. I mean, she's rather used to that. They just took her voice. So we have this little side area, and also yay for teleporting Toad. For those of you who are new, I actually have a bit of a problem when recording off of the GBA emulator, in that if I make the clip too long, then I will lose the file. So I basically record in segments, and sometimes this causes stuff to randomly teleport. but it really isn't that bad or game-breaking. I normally go for like 5 to 7 minute segments. So basically, we're in a small area that we'll never visit again, and we can't possibly visit again, so we're quickly picking up the 4 things that we can get in here, just a couple of supplies that I'll never really use. And then we're also going to help out this guy, which I didn't actually catch the first time I played this game. I talked to him later, and I was like, whoa, hi there. And let's go ahead and talk to Luigi. And they're talking about Bowser, because apparently they can't speak. They just talk in pictures. So, I don't know, they're kind of like mimes in that way, and Luigi is following you. And all of a sudden, Toadsworth comes in his rocket-powered suitcase. I don't even know how that thing rolls. I mean, it kind of looks like it has wheels at the bottom. But how did he get, like, that kind of propulsion and be able to turn on that thing? I mean, my god, that's one super awesome suitcase, and it is now ours. And we can press select rather than start to, open our pause menu. The suitcase is basically our pause menu. It's pretty cool how they don't necessarily break the fourth wall. Like, you're looking through your suitcase rather than just going through a pause menu like you do in most games. And we also get 100 coins, so that'll be pretty good for buying stuff later on, I guess. And we're actually going to the Bean Kingdom, which is where my hint, going to the coffee shop, came from. Because, I mean, beans, coffee beans. So, yeah, and plus there's a coffee shop actually in the Bean Kingdom. That was actually an accident, and I didn't realize it until afterwards, and I was just like, oh my god, that's perfect. However, well, we made it to the Koopa Cruiser, finally, and there's that one troop there. However, looks like everybody else is missing, unless that guy is his only troop. Also, that guy is supposed to actually be a Koopa. However, they look a lot different than in all the past games. I mean, they have like a full outfit and no real shell, and they're just not Koopas, really. I mean, that's the Koopa right there. Not really looking all too right at all. There are some things that look a lot more like Koopas, but they aren't technically Koopas. We'll get into those laters as well. Laters, yes. Laters, guys! Except we're only halfway through this video, so... Again, also because of the whole GBA recording thing, I'm post-commentating this. And, completely honest, I haven't post-commentated in forever. And by forever, I mean Pokemon Yellow, which honestly wasn't that long ago, but still, we've gone through Spyro and Mega Man, and that's it. That's it. Yay for my memory failing me. And finally, all the other guys come in, even though that one guy that we helped was afraid he would be late. The Goombas look especially phallic, just pointing that out now. They also look somewhat strange. Honestly, they look better in the next games, but then again, they have better technology, although it doesn't take much technology to make sprites. That said, I wouldn't be able to do it, really. I don't have the patience to fill in single dots to make a sprite. I mean, making a thing the size of the Koopa Cruiser must have taken forever, and then make it fully working and animated and whatnot, it must have just been awful. But they came up with just this amazing product. It is definitely one of my favorite games ever, and I really do recommend that you pick it up and play it, especially if you're a fan of RPGs. This isn't your average everyday RPG where you attack and then you get hit. I mean, there's actual strategy more than you have to use this spell at this time. I mean, there's a lot of timing. The story is actually rather good. It's not the best story out there, but it works and it's pretty good. It has a whole bunch of comedic dialogue, also yay for the super teleporting bros. I'm probably going to point that out every single time. Okay, let's go ahead and grab some coins. Basically, with those blocks, you want to have your back brother pointed... Well, you want to have your two bros pointed towards the arrow and just hit BA, BA, BA continuously. Because that block will switch back and forth and go left to right while also switching L to M, and whatnot. And there are a whole bunch of strange coin blocks in this game too that you could possibly use. Also, yay for fluctuating volume as I move closer and away from my mic continuously. And yeah, apparently we're going to be crossing the border without having our passports completely filled out. So I'm guessing that technically makes the Mario Bros illegal. I mean, we're over the border at the moment, so we should hurry up and take our pictures. Yep, the Great Bowser called us to the deck, and that's why we're moving. I don't even know what that thing was. The giant metal guy in the top right of the screen on the first room told us to. Another thing to note is that the past couple times that I played this game, I was literally like speedrunning it, and I beat it in like a day once. And I was just skipping through all the dialogue, so I got to reread all the dialogue. I had forgotten how funny it was, and also, he told you not to pose. I recommend posing because it's rather fun, and you can make Mario look all tough, and then you can support the stereotype of Luigi and make him look all afraid and stuff like so. That's basically how my two pictures are going to look. I don't remember which is which. You have like 4 or 5 seconds to experiment with what button you want to press. So we have our photos taken now. So let's go ahead and check those out. Awesome. And by the way, you use the start button to switch the two brothers. He mentioned that earlier, but for whatever reason they couldn't just use the select. Instead, they just switched it and made select the pause button to go against every other game ever completely. But at least they made the select button actually useful. I mean, this is like one of the very few games that makes the select button useful, and then somebody's going to come up with a list of like 20 games in which you could use the select button. And I mean like, a select does an actual thing and not just a replacement for A or whatever. And also, we totally broke your barrel, dude. What are you going to do about it? Well, it was kind of in our way, you just kind of left it out. I mean, it's kind of your fault. Granted, we didn't have to kick it so hard that it broke, but oh well, we're the Mario Bros, and we could jump on you and you'd turn into a shell and then we could kick you. And no thanks. It's only 4. You get into a battle that will probably give you 4 experience points, but in the long run it's only 4, and you're going to fight another battle anyways. And we're fighting a Goomba, because apparently the Goombas are okay with this. For whatever reason. So, basically, like Mario, Luigi can do all of the dodging and bonus damage stuff. I'll call it bonus damage, I guess. Except he uses the B button. So, if the monster's attacking Mario, you press A and dodge it, and if they're attacking Luigi, then you press B. And the thing is, if you time the attack just right, you'll actually do what I'll call a counter-attack, which is what he calls it too, which will do a little bit of extra damage. But there are some moves that you can't counter, like Bowser's Flame, as he said. He's basically explaining all these things, but the text might be going a bit too fast. If it is, then you can just pause the video or whatever, read quickly. Very, very quickly. I'm actually a very quick reader. And then we're just going to fly through this battle. So the Goombas, I know for a fact, have 4 HP. And I wasn't able to time that right, so it looks like he gets to live for one more turn. There we go. And we get a 4 experience. And that's basically how every battle will work. Except the enemies will have different attacks, and there will be more of them and whatnot. That's going to be the thing, isn't it? Well, I'm mainly explaining things at the moment, so yeah. Also, enemies will generally telegraph, I guess telegraph is the word, but they'll show you which bro they're going to be attacking, whether it be like raise their hand up right, raise their right hand up to attack Mario, or raise their right or left to attack Luigi. There will just be some minimal difference between the two animations that you'll be able to notice and be able to tell who will dodge that, although normally you could do what I do and just have both of them dodge at the exact same time. Just press both A and B at the same time and you take out the thinking of it. And then he's just explaining the start battle damage. If you jump on an enemy on the map, then you'll do a little bit of damage at the very beginning of battle, and then that makes battles a whole lot easier because you've already got that damage. Now we gotta level up. And generally, if it's your first time and you're not exactly sure how to do everything, I recommend that you just upgrade the lowest stat out of HP, power, defense, and bros points. However, once you get better at the game and start to learn everything in it, I'll suggest you go more for power and bros points, which is what I'm generally going to do, except for certain instances. But I'll have to talk about the level system more next time because we're running out of time at the moment. But hey, we got a ton done. I mean, we killed a couple Goombas. We're on our way to Bean Bean Kingdom in order to retrieve Princess Peach's voice. It's pretty awesome. So until then, I will see you next time, and goodbye.